Hey, love. Welcome to No Matcha, No Mama, the podcast where we pour a little matcha and a whole lot of truth. Every week, I sit with someone I admire, founders, healers, creatives, and friends, and we share a matcha I've crafted just for them. Everything here is intentional. The ingredients in your cup, the energy that we bring, the stories that we open. But this is more than just a podcast. It's a space for feeling seen, understood, and reminded that whatever you are walking through, you are not walking through it alone. At its heart, this show is about exploring how we can truly thrive through all the mess and magic of being human. There's also a space to explore the evolving world of longevity and aging well, from new discoveries and treatments to practices that actually make a difference in our lives so that we can keep showing up for ourselves, our families, our communities, while remembering that we are all figuring it out as we go. And here we start with matcha, because how we start matters. So I'm bringing Richard James back, the astrologer, and I'm excited because he's going to read my family's chart today and give you a little insight into how deep our charts really are. And it's not just based on the sun signs, etc.
Yeah.
So let's dive in.
Definitely. I'm super excited to do this.
Yes.
So have you ever done this before? Are you familiar with your astrology at all?
A little bit. I have seen an astrologist before.
Okay, perfect.
And we did a little bit of this, but it was a long time ago. And it's probably different at this point because
we
go through different.
We always it's always changing and evolving. So for you, I have you with your sun is in Virgo, your moon is in Libra, and your rising sign is in Cancer. So the way that I'm going to do this, I'm going to look a little bit at you, and then I'm going to look a little bit at Justin.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look at the dynamics between the both of you.
And just so everybody knows, I submitted all of our birth, etc. information to him ahead of time so that he had all of this ready to go.
Yeah. And so right off the bat, when I see this type of a chart, first of all, being a Virgo sun and a Cancer rising, and your moon is in the fourth house. So this has a lot to, right off the bat, karmically, this brings up a lot of energy with the mother. So in this lifetime, I'm very interested to be like, hold up. She has 3 signatures right off the bat in her big 3 that talk about there's going to be a lot of energy with her mother in this lifetime.
There is.
And what I would say is that the karma behind this is that this is not your first lifetime with her. But again, as I was using this earlier, Virgos are born with a deep need to feel an intense amount of love when they're babies. They need to feel a level of compassion and touch and soft and gentle and neat. It's every Virgo I know needs it. And they might not admit it, but they're very soft on the inside, even though their brains are like supercomputers. And your chart has this need for an immense amount of compassion and love and touch and tenderness. And it's there, especially with a Cancer rising in your moon in the fourth house. And so it's just interesting for me right off the bat, because when I look at the relationship synastry between you and your husband, I'm going to look for, well, what is the emotional connection here? Are her emotional needs being met? What is the emotional dynamic coming from? Because there's a need for it. She needs something related to her emotions because of this strong karmic dynamic with the mother figure. Now, the other thing that I just want to bring up is that with being born as a Virgo, I always say Virgo is about efficiency. Virgos always is going to be about improvement. And so I always say it is this constant growth. We're always growing. We're always evolving. We're always going through this process of, unfortunately, nothing's perfect. And the sooner that a Virgo admits that to themselves, the better their life becomes. And for you has a lot, it's in your third house. And so at one level, yes, communicate. This is great for you, by the way. Doing something like this is great because the third house is all about communication and media and podcasting, writing a book. Anything like this is great for you.
Okay.
Would be very fulfilling.
Yeah.
For this placement. Now, what I also want to bring up is your karmic complex going into the kind of dynamic with your mother. You were born with Pluto in your 5th house. The 5th house is our desire to feel recognized, to feel appreciated, to feel seen, to feel like, when we're younger, I always look at it like a little girl is coloring in a piece of paper. And all we've ever wanted is to be like, oh my God, great job. You're doing everything. It's that recognition. There's a really big need for this person in this lifetime to feel recognized and appreciated. Your soul is seeking at one level to feel that sense of you're awesome. I wish you would believe that in yourself, but you're also a Virgo, so you're very hard on yourself.
Yeah.
So it's almost like if she could, and going back to like one of the examples that I was talking about is the self-validation and giving that to herself and learning to be like, when you do something successful, you don't need to share it with everybody. You can share it with yourself and be like, oh my God, I did it. And not need someone else outside of me to give that to me. That's a huge healing to this chart.
Okay.
Is when I'm able to give that to myself. Now, the thing is as well, is that you do have a need in this lifetime for you to do something of service. I need to do something to help other people. I need to do something that is going to make a difference in this world. And it's almost as if we don't heal the part of ourself where it could be, your South Node is in Leo, by the way, what I'm talking about. If I don't heal the part of me that feels like maybe I'm not enough, or there's, I'm thinking about what other people are, how people are seeing me, how people are perceiving me, you're kind of stepping into like, I don't care what other people think. You're stepping into this place like, I need to do this because it's not about other people. It's about my contribution that I'm going to make a difference to other people. When you step into that, you flourish. Like things thrive for her when she's able to stop caring. And that's one of your biggest lessons in a relationship, is going to be one of the biggest teachers of this, is meeting a partner that's going to be like, oh my God, like, why do you care about what? No, just go do whatever you want. Empowering the part of you that is different, because you might think differently. You might have different beliefs than other people.
That's how my husband is, by the way.
Perfect. There we go. To support that part of you, to be like, be quirky, be different. You don't have to be perfect. Just be you. Like whatever that is to you, just be it. And when you have that healthy detachment, you thrive.
That's how I try to operate, by the way, because if I'm thinking about what other people are thinking, I mean, it can obviously cause chaos, but I try to live by that. I don't, if someone doesn't want to be around me or you also can't change their mind. So
no. That's very difficult for a Virgo to come to that realization. It's hard.
Yeah.
Because Virgos, I always say, is a transitional archetype because they're in between Leo and they're in between Libra. So we're going from like Leo wanting to be the center of attention and Libra wanting to be in relationship with everybody. And Virgos are like, I just want to help people. Like, I want to make a difference for other people. But how do you cross that bridge to go from being the center of attention to being in a relationship? It's very, very difficult for a Virgo. And that's why in astrology, Virgo's connected with the sign with crisis. It's difficult for them because they're trying to find this balance between how can I be of service to other people without compromising or sacrificing myself?
Right.
And that's a big lesson that you're going through. It's like balancing my ego's desire to be seen and appreciated while also being detached from what other people are going to think or say.
Yeah, that's like a constant struggle. It's like I also want so much for myself, but I have to release the attachment. I don't need to expect a certain outcome, right? Like I'm going to get to where I'm going to get, and I can't try to be so attached to something happening, or then you might prevent something from happening, right? Like in manifestation.
Totally. Well, I always say, like, if you have an expectation of the outcome, you're going to disappoint yourself.
Yeah.
And I would say be more surprised with what could show up for you.
Be more surprised.
Be more surprised with what can show up for you.
Okay.
But again, with Virgo likes to try to control, and it doesn't work. And the more you let that go, the easier that it's going to come from. But individuals have a control mechanism because they're trying to prevent chaos, which is almost like a PTSD of their childhood. And it's almost like we try to control things because of something that could have happened when we were younger. We try to prevent things from happening by controlling things.
Okay.
But we only create chaos by trying to control.
It also doesn't really work.
No, and that's why your sister sign is Pisces. And Pisces just are swimming. Like their dory in the ocean, just keep swimming. And it's very, very, very difficult for a Virgo to do this, but that is a huge karmic pattern that you're working through. And so the more that you allow yourself to go with the flow, the more that you allow yourself to be detached, the more that you allow your uniqueness to shine, to just be you, regardless of whatever this dynamic is happening. When's your mom's birthday, by the way?
July 10th.
Ironic, she's a Cancer.
She's Cancer.
And you're a Cancer rising. And Cancers and Virgos are the two signs I always look at for their mother. So I would want to look at your mom's relationship with her mother.
My grandma was very critical.
And so
of everyone. Yeah.
So holding people to a high standard and saying that you need to perform at this level. This is how you need to be. Otherwise, you're not good enough.
That's how my mom was too, by the way. That's why I had such a difficult relationship with her.
Because you, as a Virgo, who just wants to feel enough, that just wants to feel like I'm appreciated, I'm recognized. what that creates is like, I have to perform. I have to be something. I have to overcompensate. And that, what happens is isn't healthy for you. And your South Node is in Leo, which is kind of like, you could play the role. You could do what needs to get done. But what happens is that it's not, as a Virgo, it's never going to be enough. It's never going to hit the Virgo enough where it could be one compliment or whatever it might be from mom, but then it's going to come back that the Virgo is going to say, well, I'm not enough. I'm not good at this or whatever it might be. And it's like a self-defeating mechanism that we get instilled with. And so knowing that your mom is a Cancer, you have such strong Cancer energy. Your grandmother was this way. Your mother was this way. You're also a Virgo that can also be critical. So you have to be careful of how that shows up in your life.
I don't want to be critical. I'm trying my hardest not to pass that down to my kids and to the people around me, because the way that I sometimes present things can sound like it's critical, even though my meaning and intention behind it is not that way. It's just the delivery of it sometimes.
Totally. And your Mercury's in Virgo. Mercury's how you communicate. So you communicate in a way that can be very critical or could be very
sharp,
abrupt. We need you, because you're the person that can see how something can be fixed. What happens is that I always say with like a Mercury in Virgo and a Sun in Virgo, people that are around you need to learn that if I'm giving you advice, it's because I love you. And if I'm telling you something that I think is wrong, it's because I love you so much that I think you could do better. Now, when you say that, it kind of sounds like you think I could do better. You don't think I'm good enough, but it's that you see so much potential. And so I think it goes into this Virgo energy, but it is coming back to the fact of your moon in the 4th house and having a Cancer rising. And there's a beautiful, nice square here. And so whenever you have a planet that squares your angles, it's a crisis point. It's called the T-square. And in this lifetime, you're trying to balance, like, I could see you then out of fear of being too critical, being a people pleaser and not saying what needs to be said. And you have to be careful of that with your moon in Libra.
Okay.
And the more grounded and okay you are in yourself, you could say what needs to be said and be detached from how other people are going to receive it and say, I'm just going to say how I feel. This is how I feel. And I'm not trying to hurt you. This is how I feel. And saying it in a way that comes from compassion and love. You are not responsible for how other people are going to react to your advice.
No.
And so, but the moon in Libra, you have to be careful of, because if you're not sharing, if you're not communicating, if you're not allowing for your natural part of you that is trying to be and do better, Libra can just go to the other side of it and just create chaos by not doing what needs to get done, not saying what needs to be said. And that gets into the people pleasing energy. It's like, I'm just going to appease, or I'm not going to say anything. And you have to be careful of that with a Libra moon. And that's about finding balance and harmony in this world. And especially with your mother. Yeah, that's like a huge energy here. You weren't here to necessarily make her happy. That was not your goal. Like, this is a deep journey of like, everything is about you. Like, we're here to nurture you. We're here to empower you. Even if it might not have been good enough for her, it was good enough for you. And that's all that mattered. It's a big, big, big journey here for you. And especially with so much Cancer energy, is about you feeling secure, you feeling good about you. It's a big you journey. And if your mom was hypercritical or didn't recognize you or didn't appreciate you and didn't give that to you, that says more about what her experience was and not yours.
Right.
But it's very difficult for us. And these are the patterns that can then get shown up into our relationships.
Right.
Any questions on you?
I don't know what to ask.
If you have anything, no, you're good. So I'm going to bring Justin into the equation a little bit, because what's really unique for you guys as a couple is in your chart, your 7th house and your North Node are in Aquarius.
Okay.
And it's so unique that Justin is an Aquarius. He has his sun in Aquarius. And that's a really nice fit for you, because what you've needed in a relationship, or what I would say somebody needs in a relationship with you, is to promote you to be yourself, to promote individuality, to be detached, like a healthy sense of detachment from everybody, and just be like, why are you thinking about other people? Just be you. And that's what Aquariuses do so well. Aquariuses are so good at just being themselves. And so when I saw that immediately, I was like, wow, this is a great energy for her. This is going to work well for her, because she's attracting somebody in her life that is going to promote her on her journey. Like, he's helping your soul evolve every time he gives you advice to be yourself. Every time he would help you or be that word of wisdom in your ear, like, don't care about this, don't think about this, just go do you, just be whatever it is that you want to do. you thrive. It's being in that detached state. Now, the other thing is that his moon is in Aries and your moon is in Libra. This is like opposites attract here. How he emotionally responds to situations.
So different.
And how you respond are polar opposites.
Completely.
And moon and Aries they tend, I should say, it's very quick with Aries. It's almost like it hits them and it goes away.
So his moon is in Aries, you're saying? Okay.
Yes, yeah. So moon and Aries individuals, when they feel their emotions, it's very fast. It's very intense for them and it comes in, but like 5 minutes later, it's gone. And you're like, what just happened?
Yep.
And and what's happening is that he's learning about that. But traditionally, when you see a moon in Aries, there is a lesson here where he had to learn at some level, or he's learning at this point in his life, that he's teaching himself in some sort of way. Aries is very much about independence and autonomy. So to have your moon in the sign of Aries, it's very interesting for me because it wants me to see how was he shown emotions from his mother, because this is somebody that's having to teach himself in some sort of way. There's a lot of self-learning in Justin's life.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to his emotions. And a moon in Aries, like I said, the fast and fleeting energy is teaching him about emotional maturity. It's teaching him how to handle things like that. When those emotions come in, I don't have to react. I can have patience. I can breathe. I can slow down a little bit. And for him, it is in his second house, which has a lot to do with what he values. So in a way, you and him have a very similar vibration here where you're both learning about nurturing and taking care of a part of yourselves, which is interesting because that would say that you guys should have a very self-reliant relationship where like you take care of yourself, he takes care of himself, and then we're there and we share together. Like, don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. Like that would be the vibe here. And those, in my opinion, are the healthiest of relationships. When we are self-reliant, that we're not projecting like, you make me happy or I need you to do this.
You need to find happiness in yourself.
Right. But these two signs, what happens, are very independent. Like there's an independence to his chart where like, I can take care of myself. But I also love being with you and I want to create memories with you, but I don't need you to do something for me to be happy. And that comes from his strong moon in Aries and your moon in Libra. While you may be thinking about him, the way that your chart falls is there's such a need for you to kind of do it on your own. Like it would be a lesson for you. If you tried to think other people were going to do it, you would get shocked by that and be like, no one's going to be able to do this for me. I have to self-validate. I have to do this for me. And that has a lot to do with your Pluto and your moon in your chart. The other thing that's really cool is that you and your husband have flipped charts where you're a Cancer rising, he's a Capricorn rising. This is like this stereotype of like synastry 101 that you look for. Like your ascendants are flipped. So what he's most attracted to or what he needs in a relationship and vice versa meet each other.
Interesting.
So you bring in a level of the Cancer, which is the compassion, which is the softness, which is like you want to be a mother, you want to take care of, and that can be very important to you. That's exactly what he needs. And whereas your Capricorn energy, this could be him being more mature or him being more grounded in some sort of way. There could be something he brings into the table with a Capricorn rising. Normally when you see Capricorn rising, or for you Capricorn on your descendant, you need a partner that is he older than you by any chance?
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, so Capricorn for you, because you're Cancer rising, tends to date older because you think older means they're more mature. Like you're attracted to mature guys. You're attracted to people that have their life together. These are traditionally Capricorn risings will either get into their own business, start their own line of work, or they need to do something like this. He needs to be his own boss if he's not already his own boss.
Yes.
And
sure does.
And he needs someone in a relationship that is also going to be softer. Like it can't always be business 24/7. We need a softness here. And he has that energy in his chart. So when I see that between the both of you, I was like, wow, y'all have a nice vibration together because I can see him focusing on his life, you focusing on your life, but you guys coming together for the relationship and for the family. So I love the energy. So it's actually like, I like this for you. Lessons for him and how this is going to show up for you is because your sun is in the third house, communication is super important for you. And he came here to work on a lot of communication. His north node is in the third house. So he's here to learn how to communicate, learn how to share, learn how to get that energy out of him. His south node is in Scorpio. So sometimes I would imagine maybe when he was younger, Scorpio can sometimes it can hide, it can keep things down, it can have a difficulty when it comes to sharing things. And one of the things he's learning at one level is have fun, for sure, but also communicate, working on the communication, working on sharing. How is he feeling? What's going on inside of him? Everything is not so serious. And Scorpio South nodes have a hard time with that. And it's unique because he has his moon in Aries. So I would think that once he taps into this lighter energy, like life is supposed to be fun for him. Like this is a chart where it should be fun. It should be lighthearted. Aries is a child. So it's almost like he needs to entertain a little bit more of that. But Capricorns in general, Capricorn risings have resting bitch faces. They just... Is
that me?
No, him.
Oh, him.
And what happens here is Capricorn risings have this, it's almost like a mature friend. And he has a South Node in Scorpio. And so what I'm saying is with his chart in particular, he's learning to kind of allow himself to let that childlike essence out. Like he's meant to be like a child in this life. So him being a dad feels so perfect for him because this type of a person would be an amazing father.
He is.
But again, big thing with him is communication is a big lesson for him in this lifetime. It's communicating not only with you, but how is he sharing his information? How is he sharing his wisdom? Because the South Node in Scorpio could be so deep. So that tells me that if I was to sit down with him, there's so much going on inside of him. But I want to bring a lot of what the depth that he's feeling out onto the surface, like sharing it with people. Like this is somebody that would have very, very deep, meaningful conversation.
Yeah.
Which is great. And for you, having your son in the third house is important for you. So it's almost like I could see the gift of this connection with the both of you could be communication, but the challenge here as well could be communication as well. So it's almost like I could see this. It's like, I always say this, the gift and the problem, the gift and the challenge are almost the same. And for you guys, it's being able to have those conversations, share that information. And
maybe working through the challenge will give us a gift.
Yeah, and talking about it and opening up those cans of worms, whatever it might be. And for you, and then for him, looking at your moon signs, it's going to be the emotional stuff, the emotional conversations. It's bringing those up to the surface. And him being soft to be like, hey, let's talk about this. You tell me that you don't feel appreciated. You tell me that you don't feel recognized, or you feel like you're being hard on yourself. Like this is going to be somebody that can help heal those words that you keep telling yourself. So again, there's a gift in it, but the challenge is being able to initiate those intimate, deep, hard conversations here. The other thing that I would just say between the both of you, I'm just looking at one last thing here, is, being the fact that he is in Aquarius. Whenever I work with evolutionary astrology, that North and that South Node, that is like how we are either going to stay stuck in this lifetime, or how we can evolve. Your South Node is in your first house. You're not meant to be single. You're not meant to be alone in this life. Okay. Your North Node is in the 7th house, which is saying, I'm here to learn about relationships. And again, because it's in the sign of Aquarius, it's almost like his Venus, his Jupiter, his Mercury, and his Sun all in this area of your chart is almost like a big green flag for you, saying like, I'm going to help you at a soul level understand that relationships aren't what you think they are. And it's almost like so deep here because the soul has associated at one level that I have to do it on my own. The soul has this feeling of the South Node in the first house, like I'm alone, like I have to do it on my own. Like some level, like you could have been very independent and associated, like I'm just going to take care of myself. I'm going to do this alone. I'm going to do this. And it's almost like he comes in, he's like, no, relationships aren't that way. It's like, there's a whole other world that you're learning here, and that's where your soul is going to evolve. So anytime planets are in the sign of Aquarius, which is going to happen very soon in January, it's monumental for you. It's a huge chapter for you. So I'd be interested to see what's happening around you and him in January and February. It could be very exciting for you. Like you personally, there could be like major moments of growth or exciting moments with him. Like it's a good time for you anytime planets are in Aquarius. So that's just something interesting in evolutionary astrology we look at. It's like those are moments where you can have growth moments together in your relationship. So you mentioned, I also have Dino and Dino. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
And then we have Roma. I just want to make sure I have, I love the name Roma, by the way.
Thank you.
And with Dina, we have a Gemini sun, and then we have a Taurus moon, and we have a Libra rising. And so what's really interesting is that Dina was born really close to an eclipse. And anytime children are born, not children in general, anyone is born close to an eclipse, I find that their life is really, really important. Like they have an implied importance because eclipses are intense. They change like everything. It's like a portal. And so just recently, look back to like September of this year, there was an eclipse really close to your birthday. And so whatever happens between September 21st and February of next year is important for you. This is like a portal of time that you went into.
Interesting.
This is Dino's whole life.
Wow.
Like his whole life is almost like this monumental eclipse like energy that's happening for him.
Wow.
And at one level, it's like relationships are also going to be very important for him. But this is going to be somebody that is bringing forward, like he's coming here to change things up, like in a really good way. I'd be very interested to see what he gets into in this lifetime as far as work goes, because that sun is in the 8th house. These are, again, very deep souls. There's going to be an interesting relationship between him and his father. Not a bad, interesting, a good relationship, because your husband has a South Node in Scorpio, and his son will have his sun in the 8th house, which is the Scorpio house. So there's going to be a similarity between these two as they get older. It'd be interesting. How old is he?
3.5.
It'll be interesting to see how that connection deepens, because normally when you see that, it's a very deep, deep, deep connection between the two. And that could be, if that's more of like an intuitive and like psychic connection, because the 8th house has that sort of vibe here. Like this baby will have a wicked intuition. I'd be open to when he gets older as well. Does he say anything as far as like feeling energy, seeing energy, like he has the ability to kind of sense those types of energies. Like
Interesting.
Very intuitive placement for him. And so speaking of Mercury retrograde, he was also born with Mercury retrograde.
Okay.
So this is going to be somebody that sees the world a little bit different in the sense where it could be very incredibly open-minded, may not be so linear in this way, but may see the forest from the trees, less every tree that exists type energy. The other thing that I would say with him is his moon is on his north node, which is you, which is telling us that he karmically brought you into this lifetime for him. Like you're going to play a very, very important role for him in this life.
Wow.
And that is a part of why this eclipse is happening, because the sun and the moon are very close to the north node. That he is meant in this lifetime to focus on his relationship with his mom. Wow. There's going to be a big, big focus for him. And chances are, as far as relationships go, the types of relationships we can see him wanting to attract are going to be relationships that model his relationship with his mom. So it is a very strong bond that comes through when anything touches your north node. The being in Taurus is going to be almost like a very sensitive dynamic. Like he either feels very loved and supported and very connected to mom. He feels provided by mom, and he may feel like, I want to take care of her. I want to do this for her. I want to be there for his mom. Like you'll notice as he gets older, there's going to be an implied importance on mom.
Okay.
Like I feel like dad feels very comfortable. I want to build this with my mom in this lifetime. I want to do this with my mom in this lifetime. It's almost like past life with dad, this life with mom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so it is fascinating for me to see that connection. What I also just say is that I'm getting another signature of a very intuitive like baby. Like this baby could have some gifts coming into this world.
Wow, I love that for him.
I'd be interested if he's ever interested in like diving into anything like astrology, the tarot, like anything like mediumship. Like he's got a lot of signatures of something like this. And so I'd be interested if anyone in your family ever dabbled or was interested in any of that, because now I'm getting 3 signatures. So there's a lot that can imply.
What do you mean 3 signatures?
3 signatures of a very intuitive, potentially psychic child.
Oh, like 3 signs.
3 signatures meaning like 3 placements in his chart that when I see that, I'm like, oh, that can represent someone that's very intuitive, but I'm getting 3 of those. So that's like very, very strong.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, because there wasn't really... I mean, my dad seemed like he was like very wise and intuitive.
And what was your dad's birthday?
His was August 8th.
A Leo.
He was a Leo.
And your South Node is in Leo as well, which would say that, just looking back from your chart, you with your dad, that's an intense connection too. That would represent that. That's interesting for me, because that would show us, just because your South Node is in Leo, that was not your first lifetime with your dad and won't be your last lifetime with your dad. You will meet him again in the future. Your Jupiter is also in Leo too. So it's a very rich, beautiful, expansive relationship with the father. And it's unique just because, like I said, it's like you have now knowing that. It's interesting that you have such a strong connection and familiarity with the father, but there's stress with the mother. That's what this is kind of illuminating for you that you're working on. And then when we look at your sons, your sons, I just was noticing, has his Jupiter and his Mars in the sign of Aries. and they're exactly the same degree as his father's moon sign, which has two different things. One is, again, I'm just letting you know that this is like, they know each other.
Right.
They 110% know each other. But this is also going to be somebody, because his Mars is conjunct his father's moon, will also kind of trigger him a little bit. Like, will also be the one, because Mars in Aries conjunct somebody else's moon can be like a conflict point, because Mars in Aries it's how he's going to exert his energy, how he's going to do things in this world. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like this is a baby that wants independence too. Mm-hmm. And so what's happening is if the father tries to tell the baby something to do or something like this, they can trigger each other.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
It's almost like it'll be fun to watch as the mom, because you know that then Dino's going to come right back to you and be like, Mom, like I want to hang out with you. But it will be like,
yeah, if there's ever like a troubled moment between them, he's always asking for me.
100%. That's because like that's the golden part of it all, because he knows this. So the moon is on his north node. It's almost like it's so close to that it's like I could see him doing, like, as he gets older, like having a moment with his dad, triggering him a little bit, just trying to like piss him off a little bit, trying to like, you know what I mean? Like it's feisty energy. Jupiter, Mars, and also
he for sure has feisty energy. He's very strong.
Yeah, well, that's a Jupiter, Mars could be like an athlete. It could be somebody that has that type of a strength. But at the same time, like, I would not want to piss off this Dina. No, then we'll go straight to the dad, and then they'll egg each other on. Mm-hmm. And then we'll go hang out with mom and be like, let's go play. Let's go have fun. Let's go shop. Let's go get some food. That's the vibe here. So it's cool. It's cool to see.
Interesting.
And then we have Roma, which I also love, by the way. This will be fun because Roma's a Sagittarius.
Yes.
And
she's also only 11 months still. So this will be so super interesting to see. I love
Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius moon. She was born on a new moon, very similar to her brother. And so I always like to say, for any Sagittarius in general, is a lifetime in which it won't be linear for them. So Sagittarius is about almost like being born in this lifetime, and you're given like an RV, but you don't have a GPS. It's like, go figure it out. This child will also have a little bit of that intuitive nature, but will be probably the most independent of all of you. So she has the chart of, especially in the 5th house, of a deep need for her to kind of like, I'm independent, I'm creative, like let me figure out what I like to do, let me go explore things. So like knowing that she's so young, it'd be very interesting to put a lot of creative things with her, like drawing, coloring, painting, whatever it might be, to see what potential gifts she could have in these areas. Because she is born on a new moon in the house of creativity, so she could have gifts that can come through. The other thing I would say is that with her north node is in Aries, conjunct her dad's moon. So again, what's happening is we're going to notice that this is almost giving me like, your son is going to be very close with you and your daughter is going to be very close with her father. That's where it's almost like they're meant to build a relationship with the other parent in this lifetime. And it's not that you won't have a relationship. It's just like they have like a karmic dynamic where they need to deepen their connection in this lifetime. Same with you and your son. And it's so for an
it doesn't mean I won't be close with her.
No, you will be very close with her. But what I'm saying is I think it's unique that you have that bond with your son.
And your husband has it with my daughter.
Yes. And this is what you could see in family synastry together. It's like, wow, I can see how this bond is going to happen, where it's almost like he'll have such a special relationship with his mom, and she'll have such a special relationship with her father. And with her, I feel like it's going to be about her desire. Like there could be something where she wants to create something for herself, or she wants to be independent. She's going to want to travel. She's going to want to do something. And maybe, your son wants to hang out with you and do things with you. And she's like, I want to go travel. I want to go do this. I want to go over here. I want to go explore. I want to go do this. She has that energy. And so it's interesting. I just noticed that as I was just saying that. I was like, interesting.
She's very good at independent play.
Very well. That will be her until she's old, like forever. She's going to be that's why the most independent of all of you. Yeah,
she will just like sit there and be fine playing by herself. Like doesn't need somebody to interact with her.
No, and that has a huge part for her is she's learning about that, and that's also like. So
it's important to let her keep doing that.
Yes. And like in the sense where like she's learning about what I'm good at. Like what is she good at? Like what does she like to do? Like it's almost like a self-learning mechanism. And so the other thing I'll say is that the other thing I would say as a mom, because you asked me this question earlier, is always ask her, how is she feeling? Not from a perspective of like, oh, how are you feeling today? But like really sit down intentionally, because she has Pluto in the 6th house, to help her process the thoughts that she's having. Because sometimes this could be somebody that has a lot of thoughts but won't talk about them. So it's important to create that environment to be like, hey, what's going on? Like, how are you feeling? Are you sure that's how you feel about that? Like, do you want to talk about this? It's almost like having a little bit of that counselor type of dynamic to like help them unpack what they're thinking or feeling or whatnot. Because as independent as she is, there is a little voice in her head like you. She's going to have a similar mechanism. So when you think about yourself as a little girl, when you were beating yourself up or you felt hard on yourself, when you had that little voice inside of your head, what words of wisdom do you wish you could give yourself? And that is what...
You are enough.
And that's what you should be. That's what I would focus on.
I say that to her every night before she goes to sleep.
That is the cure and the medicine to all of this for her.
Okay. Well, because I give both of my kids words of affirmations before they go to sleep. And you are enough is one thing that I added for my daughter.
I love it. That's huge for this one. You'll notice the effects of this, of her self-confidence, and that will help her propel herself to feel self-confident, to do all of these ideas that she's going to have. It's going to be a creative child. I could see like an athlete and then the creative. Like I could see this vibe here.
I love that.
Yeah.
Anything else you can tell me about her? I'm just so curious because she's like not quite there yet.
Yes.
Obviously, because she's so young.
No, you're good. What I'd also just say is that you have similarities with her because her South Node is in the 2nd house. And
she's very much like me, by the way. Like I see her, I see myself in her.
Very similar in the sense, like I feel there is this sort of, again, I can talk about the Pluto in the 6th house, but that South Node in the 2nd house in Libra, at one level, like she does have like, I want to take care of people. I want to be of service. I want to do this for other. Like you're going to notice this part of her. Like she's somebody that I think could make a difference. Like she could do something in her community and in the world. And I feel like that's what you're passionate about, is making a difference. And I can see her doing this.
That's why I started the podcast.
Yeah. And she's going to do this in a creative way. It could be something she has creative inside of her that she wants to share with people, especially with that South Node in the 2nd house. I think most importantly is she has to learn about almost like the relationship side of things, is like allowing, she's going to be so independent. Yeah. That like you have to, like, it's okay to put like share with somebody else and merge with somebody else and combined with somebody else. That's very difficult when we're dealing with 8th house energies. Because it's almost like, I got this. I don't need anybody else. I don't need a man. I don't need anybody. I can do it on my own. And it's almost like, there is a need for her to experience, similar to you. There's a need for her to experience partnerships and connecting with people and working with other people and doing all of that. She may have this very big need to be like, I can do it on my own. I'm good. Right. Which is fine. But like, there is also this balance that she's trying to work on in this lifetime.
What would you say is a good way to urge her to that she doesn't have to do it all on her own?
So like, as she gets older, I would, does she want to participate in any sort of groups, like getting her involved in like group plays? Like, do you want to take painting classes, or are there any types of groups that you want to be a part of after, the after school curricular activities and stuff like that? Those could be moments where she could thrive when she meets with other people and she learns the fact of like teamwork and all of these different things. Yeah. Like, because she may have a hard time asking for help because she's just like, I can do it on my own.
I did.
And you learn that it's not true. Like I could ask for help. Yeah. I can trust other people. And so for this, it's like, the gift is the fact that she's so powerful. The thing is, she's going to be even more powerful when she realizes she doesn't have to do it alone. Yeah. That she can ask for people and they only will better it. They will only add this to her life. Beautiful. So it's a very fun energy. And what I would just say is don't suppress her play. Don't suppress the play. Let her play for sure. Because this is going to be a playful baby. Aww. Yeah.
So cute. I love it.
I actually just said this the other night. Somebody had asked me, like, what's the funnest sign of the zodiac? Like, who goes to have fun? Like, that they're going to do this, and it would be like a Sagittarius. Really? And she's a mega Sagittarius. So let her play, let her have fun, and let her explore whatever it is that she wants to do. Because it's going to be, again, it's a curious energy. So. I
want to ask just... moving away from our chart.
Yeah, definitely.
You're known for helping people decode their soul's purpose. What are the biggest pieces of guidance you find yourself giving right now?
Oh, that's a good question. focus on yourself. I find myself promoting there's a term in philosophy called enlightened self-interest, which is when you are able to focus on yourself and understand yourself and become more realized in that way, you can make a bigger difference in the world. But you have to be able to understand yourself. We, I think, sometimes think that life is happening to us. And
it's happening for us.
It's happening for us, and you're also the creator of it. And I think we forget that you are creating this life experience. And I think people need to slow down and realize that what's happening is a result of them.
Yeah.
It's a result of their own subconscious, their own unconscious, their own conditioning. And if you can understand that, liberate, heal that, understand that part of yourself, it's game changing. And I think right now more than ever, I find myself when I sit down with people and I'm like, well, let's look at this part of you and like, how can you focus on this part of you? And many times when I do a reading, people are so focused on everyone else. Like, why won't this person do this for me? Why is this happening for this person? Like, and it's difficult, but if when we're unhappy or when we're sad or when we're going through a breakup or going through a divorce or a business or a job loss, a lot of those moments are turning points to go within. And I think people are so afraid of that. It's like so common though. I see myself saying it all the time, like, go within yourself. I think that's what retrogrades teach us, is an inner reflection. It's always a constant reminder to go within. And I think people struggle with that deeply.
Yeah.
So.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Amazing.
Thank you.
Let me see. We have a little bit of time. But before I let you go, I wanted to ask about your new show.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it. When does it start? How often will it be on? And what will you be doing?
I'm super excited about this. So I just actually got back from Colorado. So it's a show called Starcast Weekly. And it's on a streaming service called Gaia. And I was just there a couple of days ago. And it was almost like a dream for me because I used to watch Gaia 10 years ago. And so now to kind of like be there and see everything is like a dream come true in this way. Because I always thought about it and I was like, I would love to be there to see it. And it was just like, again, it was like a dream for me. And so what I'm going to do is each week you would tune in and you'd get your weekly horoscope based upon like your zodiac sign. And I don't only talk about like, oh, like this week, this is happening to you. I'll actually talk and give tips on how to understand the energy. And I'm not going to lie, January is rough. There's a lot happening in January astrologically. So it was a perfect start to talk about because as we go through the weeks, you'll hear and you'll learn about what's happening and how can I thrive with this? What signs are going to experience it more?
Yeah.
And it's done in a way where if you know your rising sign as well, you can actually tune into your rising sign as well and apply it and you'll understand how it comes through. And if you're actually also like interested in astrology and you want to learn, you'll also learn through it because I talk through how the astrology works and how to connect the dots. So I'm super excited about it. I'm to be a part of something that is about positive thinking, that is about raising your vibration, that is about higher consciousness, and to bring astrology to help people to hopefully heal, bring awareness to the wounds that we need to look at. I feel like that's a gift. I think it's the biggest gift I probably could have asked for.
Yeah.
So I'm just so excited to do this and be a part of their team and share this. So it starts January 1st. And I'm excited to kind of for everyone to see it.
I'm excited to watch it. It sounds amazing.
I'm super excited. It's cool. I think, there's also some really cool shows like on Gaia that I personally love. As far as if you're curious about learning about yoga, for an example, or breath work, meditation, or sound baths, like they have literally everything for the spiritual community that you could find. And I love it. It's like home. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the prayer again.
Perfect.
May we carry what we need, release what we don't, and stay open to the magic that is unfolding. Thank you again for sharing your heart and sipping your matcha with me today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for listening to No Matcha, No Mama. If you love the episode, share with a friend, leave a review, or come say hi on Instagram. My handle's at Dina De Laurentiis. If you want to connect with my amazing guest, Richard James, you can check him out at Richard James Astrology. And if you want to book a session with him, I highly recommend that you do. You can find him at richardjamesastrology.com. I'll provide the website in my show notes. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube or my Spotify because you never want to miss an episode. And remember, thriving takes intention. See you next time.